Hey Morris, so we're just going to get right to it. First, I'm going to be starting with my eyebrows. I'm just going to go ahead and outline my eyebrows with my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. This is in the shade Ebony. So I usually just go ahead and outline it first and then begin to fill in my brows. I try not to do it too dark because I hate to look like I have two caterpillars on my face. So just stroke, towards the ends and then stroke the front of your brows. Next, I clean it up with my tweezers, and then I go in with my LA Girl concealer in the shade Toffee. So now I'm just going to go ahead and blend in that concealer under my eye. Just buff it out, make it nice and smooth. I don't like harsh lines around my brows. Next, I'm using my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. I'm not sure the shade, but I'm just going to go ahead and put it on top of my brows. I like the top concealer of my brows to be a little darker than under my brows, so we can have the right kind of glow. So once you've gone ahead and outlined the top, buff it out with your brush, comb it out, fix your eyebrows, voila, you've got some cute ass eyebrows. Now I'm just going in with my concealer and patting it lightly on my eyelids and using it as an eyeshadow base. Next, I'm going to take my Pride palette. I'll put the color down below in the description, but I'm just going to go ahead and pat it in and then stroke it in, so that way it's a nice, smooth, and not coarse finish. Same thing with the mint shade. Gonna go ahead and pat it on first just to get the pigment to be a little darker, and then I'm gonna go ahead and buff it out and brush it out just so that way it's not so harsh. Next, I'm going to take my NYX White Liquid Liner, and I'm just going to go ahead and do a thin line on my eyelash line, right where I'm going to go ahead and place my lashes, so that way I get that nice pop with this look. As you can see, I've added my lashes, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply my primer all over my face. This is my e.l.f. primer. Also going to color correct. I color correct sometimes, not all the time, but when I have marks on my face, I just go ahead and color correct with my fingers and my LA Girl orange color corrector. So before I put my foundation on, I do put some concealer underneath my eyes and I blend it out for a more dramatic finish with my makeup. Now I'm going in with my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. It was my first time using this foundation and I really liked it because it went really well with my skin tone. Like, I didn't really have to mix it with any other colors. Now I'm using MAC 24-hour long-lasting concealer underneath my eyes, on my forehead, right below my nose, and under my chin. I'm going to go ahead and blend that in with a damp beauty blender. Make sure you look up when you're doing your eyes so you don't get any creases. I learned that. It took me a while to learn that, but you don't want creases under your eyes, especially if you're baking or adding some sort of like baking powder. So now taking my Sasha Buttercup baking powder, going in and just going ahead and pressing it into my skin with my beauty blender as well to set the concealer. Now this is Black Opal foundation, but I use it as a contour because I love the way it looks. So as you can see here, I'm just sculpting my nose using that Black Opal contour and the Sasha Buttercup. And then as you're contouring, make sure you contour up when you're doing your cheek, so that way it doesn't like come below like your cheekbone. So as you can see, I'm just taking the beauty blender and fixing how I contoured. Now I'm using Huda Beauty baking powder. I'm just going to go ahead and set the bottom half of my face. I'm just going to go ahead and brush off that excess powder. I'm using a total face brush now to go ahead and melt everything in together so it all kind of just works. It doesn't have any harsh lines throughout my face. This is Wet n Wild Rainbow Highlighter. Favorite part, out for your girl to install that wig, honey. I'm just using my Ghost Bond glue, adding it to my above my hairline so it doesn't really get on my hair, but I'm one of those people that don't care. I use the remover. The remover is amazing. I have not lost my edges. My edges seem to be growing, so yeah. Ladies, just make sure like when you're applying your wig, you don't have any flyaways because it kind of looks weird once you pull the wig forward. So just always use your tail comb and make sure any flyaways are either pressed back or, not in direct view of that Ghost Bond while it's drying. So I add the Ghost Bond at different times so that way one side dries quicker than the other, because when you're applying your wig, you want to do it in sections. As you can see right here, I'm only doing one side. I'm leaving the front until the glue dries, and same thing on the other side. As you can see, the glue is getting a little clear on the front of my head, so now I'm going to apply to the other side of my head so that can dry while I lay the middle part. Featuring Brooks, but hello, Brooke. Right, you're just gonna pull that forward, and then you're just gonna press the lace into the glue so it can kind of melt in. I know my hands are kind of like covering it, but you can kind of get a concept of what I'm doing here. Same thing on the other side. Just pull the wig forward, kind of like press it into the glue so that way it can melt. I know some girls say that they don't use their fingers. I necessarily don't like to touch the glue with my fingers, but when you're laying it down, you have to obviously touch it. I noticed that one side of my wig was still flapping up, so I just added a little bit of glue, and then I'm gonna go ahead and tie it down. While it's tied down, I'm gonna go ahead and style it. Just brush it out, apply some mousse so that way it lays flat. If you have a hot comb, I would suggest just running it through the top and front of your unit so that way it lays completely flat and you don't have to worry about it like looking like a helmet. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know the barrel size of this curling iron. I don't pay attention to things like that. I just look at the size and say, yes, that's the size curls I want, and I buy it. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and start to curl and style my wig. There's big curls all over, and I'm pinning them as well. So that way when I'm done, all I have to do is unpin and my curls are still intact. As you can see, my entire head is pin curled. I'm gonna go in and just do my baby hairs. And when you're doing it, I'm no baby hair professional, but when you're doing it, use your fingers. Like, I learned that using your fingers is very important, especially for the little swoop. Like, that really creates the swoop you're looking for in your baby hairs. So I have taken out all of my pin curls. I'm going to use my hot curling iron and just go in at the top and press it down a little bit more. I want my curls in the front to be a little bit more, not really defined, but I just want to have that bounce in that body. So before I finish up, I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit more curls to the front. And when curling, curl away from your face, not towards your face, or your curl will not come out the way you want it to come out. It'll look weird. There you have it, strawberry kiwi. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think below. Thanks for watching.